What's good, YouTube? So in today's video, guys, we're gonna be talking about Rui Hachimura, man. He came out after the game against the Bulls the other night, and he kind of just said that his knee is only at like 70, 80%, and he was saying how he didn't feel like it was gonna get back to regular no time soon, and it would take him a lot longer to sit out if we expected his knee to heal up all the way, and he's kind of just gonna have to manage it throughout the rest of the season. So I'm looking at this right here. The Lakers have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. They have 12 games left, including tonight's game against the Orlando Magic. They have a back-to-back coming up against Indiana and Chicago Wednesday and Thursday of this week, and then they play against Memphis on Saturday, which is a very, very important game for when it comes to the standings and stuff like that. So what do you guys think? Do y'all think that Rui Hachimura should just sit down for the rest of this road trip and he can come back 2, 4? You got 2, 4, 6. You'll have 8 games left after tonight. After this road trip, you'll have 8 games left after this road trip. Would that give him more time for his knee to kind of heal up a little bit more? Would he feel a little bit better? Or in my opinion, the doctors wouldn't just put Rui Hachimura or clear him to play if this injury wasn't gonna just like if he was gonna play a few games and it was just gonna like mess up even more or get worse. I don't necessarily think it would get worse, because you can tell the other night during the Bulls game when Rui played the limited minutes that he did play the other night, his jump shot looked extremely short. One of his threes that he shot did not even look like his regular like form of shooting the basketball. It looked like he didn't look right at all. He looked a lot slower, which is kind of to be expected. He looked like he didn't trust his knee when he was playing defense a couple times on like Josh Giddey and Kobe White when they would switch on to him and stuff like that. And I think opposing teams are going to be like seeing that Rui is not healthy, and they're going to be attacking him more in pick and rolls. Could that be a good thing? That might be a bad thing for us. It could be a good thing as well, getting him back more into like rhythm, because moving his feet more, being in that situation a lot more. If he does get stops and stuff like that on defense, maybe he'll trust his knee a little bit more, and then he'll be mentally he'll be stronger. He'll feel like his knee is okay to play on, and then he'll be able to take those risks and stuff like that, and not be afraid that his knee is going to mess up if he does move his feet, jump, stuff like that. So in my opinion, maybe Rui should sit out of a few of these games. Maybe he should sit out against like tonight against Orlando and Wednesday against Indiana, because obviously he's not going to play both the back-to-back stretch with the Pacers and Bulls. He's not going to play in both of those games. We know he's not going to play in both of those games. So which one of those games I would play Rui in? I probably would play him in the Indiana game, because Indiana's a much tougher team than the Chicago Bulls, even though they just absolutely blitzed us the other night on Saturday night against us in LA. I still think the Pacers are a much better team. I think you're going to need Rui in that game more than you would need Rui against the Chicago Bulls. And obviously you're definitely going to need him Saturday against the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies have a very, very big team. Santi Aldama, Jaren Jackson Jr., Brandon Clark. They have a lot of Zach Edey. They have a lot of size. They got a bigger front court, and they got big wings. So you're going to need Rui in that game, because when it comes to this team defensively, the overhaul they've had defensively as a team, you have LeBron playing well. You had Rui Hachimura, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt. They depended on the bigger wing caliber players, and even Luka to a certain extent. Luka has played pretty well defensively. Now, he did not play well defensively the other night against the Bulls. But just in general, overall, since he's been a Laker, Luka has played really, really well defensively. He has not been getting picked on off defensively. He's been moving his feet, staying in front of people, using his bigger body when it comes to shutting off lanes. You see him do it a lot. He'll kind of just move, have his hands out, and guys will try to blow by him, and he would like step in front of him, and his bigger body, they would like bounce back. Because Luka's a big guy. He's a big dude. People say he's overweight or whatever. He probably could shed a few pounds. But at the end of the day, Luka's a top 3 player in the league. And like I said, if he's playing defense like this, you can really depend on him to be out there in the most critical moments, because he's a really, really cerebral basketball player when it comes to jumping in the passing lanes, getting steals and stuff like that. So he's really shown that he's been pretty solid defensively. And that's all you really need. From a superstar of his caliber, he's not a lockdown defender, but a superstar of his caliber and what he brings to your team offensively every single night, if he's just solid defensively, that's good enough. So he was bad in the Chicago game, but overall, you look at the overall picture, he's been pretty good. But overall, guys, the wings on our team are the biggest 6'7", 6'8" guys. have been the reason why this team has been good defensively since the end of January. Dorian Finney-Smith has been really, really good. He was in foul trouble tonight. But just in general, my point is, Rui's important to this team, offensively and defensively, because that Denver game in Denver last month when we played against Denver and just absolutely just blitzed them, Rui Hachimura was extremely impressive on defense against Jokic, even though it's more of a team defensive thing than just like a one-on-one defensive thing. Rui, when it came to fronting Jokic and when it came to being in the right spots on the double teams and just being that initial defender on Jokic, Rui did a phenomenal job. And he's been playing phenomenal defensively overall as well. So I would rest Rui some of these games over this this road trip, Orlando, Indiana, Chicago, and Memphis. I would rest him some. I would play him in the Indiana game. Tonight's game, he's questionable against the Orlando Magic. I probably wouldn't play him in this game. I would have Dalton Connect playing tonight. Because you have such a deep team. You have wings on this team that can play. You got Jordan Goodwin that plays really good defense. He plays bigger than his size. You have Dalton Connect, who was pretty much out of the rotation Saturday night's game. So you still have guys that can step in and kind of fill that role when it comes to scoring or bring you something defensively, offensively, or something. So I wouldn't rush Rui Hachimura back. I wouldn't rush him back. I would let him get a little bit more confidence in his knee. I would sit him out over this road stretch a little bit. It's just unfortunate that his injury came at the time it did, and it's the injury that he has, and at the time of the season that we're in, because you also want him to get into a rhythm offensively before the postseason starts, because we can't have Rui going out there looking like the way he did Saturday night, because that'll be bad for us defensively and offensively. He just didn't have a good game. He didn't look right at all. So I would arrest him a couple times over the rest of the season. Obviously, he's going to manage it. These back-to-backs that they have, don't play him in those games. First night or second night, whichever one, I would definitely play him in probably the most important games. Try to help him get a rhythm over the next few weeks before the postseason starts. But I wouldn't rush him back. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about Rui Hachimura and his injury. He's saying his knee is only 70-80% to being right. He said he don't think it's going to get back to 100% for the rest of the season. But they also understand that they don't want to fall into the play-in either. Last couple seasons, the Lakers have known they was going to be a play-in team. They are fourth in the Western Conference right now, I believe, third or fourth. So when it comes to this team, they understand how important it is to try to keep a playoff spot. I don't think they're going to fall below 4, especially if they just focus defensively over these next 4 games. All 4 of these games are extremely winnable. 3-1 is 100% obtainable. If you can go 3-1 over this stretch of these next 4 games on this road trip, if you can go 3-1, that would be absolutely phenomenal. If they go 4-0, I think they're 100% going to finish in the top 4 in the Western Conference. You got 2 games coming up against Houston. You have this game this weekend against Memphis, which is very, very important. You got a game against Golden State on the 3rd, which is going to be important as well, even though you have the tiebreaker over them. You have the tiebreaker over pretty much everybody in the West except for the Rockets and the Thunder, and that's because you haven't played them enough. You got the tiebreaker over Denver because of the divisional record, and you're 2-2 against them in the season. You got the tiebreaker over Golden State. You got the tiebreaker over the Timberwolves, over the Clippers. So all of the teams is pretty much below them, even though I think over the Memphis Grizzlies as well, especially if they win on Saturday. They'll be 3-1 against them this year. So overall, y'all let me know how y'all feel about Rui Hachimura saying his knee is only at 70-80% in the comment section below, guys. Y'all let me know what y'all would do with Rui over this next 12-game stretch. Would y'all play him tonight? Would y'all sit him on back-to-backs? Would y'all just go ahead and play him every single night? How do y'all feel about that? Let me know in the comment section. Y'all be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if y'all new. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.